All right, hello everyone. So everyone saw my LeetCode 3701, computing alternating sum. This is a LeetCode easy, so we shouldn't be here too long. It's more geared towards the beginners. So you're given an integer array nums. The alternating sum of nums is the value obtained by adding elements of even indices and subtracting elements of odd indices. Return an integer denoting the alternating sum. So let's quickly look at the input array and see why this is the answer. So I'm going to quickly write out the indices. Remember the arrays are 0 index, so we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. And we can see that if we had, let's say we had an array called odd, and we had an array called even, we'd see that indexes 0, which is 1, is an even number. So we put 1 there. 1 is an odd number. Index 1 is odd. Index 2 is even, which represents 5, so we have 5 there. And index 3, which is a 7, is an odd number. And the question states that the alternating sum is obtained by adding elements of even indices and subtracting the elements of odd indices. So even, we'd have what's 1 plus 5, which is 6, minus 3 plus 7 is 10. If we have 6 minus 10 is -4, and that's why -4 is the answer. So to solve this problem, what we're going to do is loop through the arrays, the num array, and we're going to use the modulus operator. And we're going to determine if the index is even or odd. And the modulus works by returning the remainder when you divide by a certain number. And we're going to do 2 for this example, because let's say we had the number 10 and we did modulus 2. This would equal 0 because 2 goes into 10 5 times evenly and there is no remainder, meaning that this is an even number. But if we did the same thing for 11, the remainder would be 1 because 2 would go into 10, it would be 5 times, and there'd be 1 left over, which means the number is odd. If there is a remainder after dividing by 2, the number is odd, and if there is not, the number is even. So hopefully it makes sense for everyone, and let's quickly code up the answer. So what we're going to do here is have 2 arrays. So we're going to call this one even equals an empty array, odd equals an empty array. And next we're going to loop through our nums. So for I in range length of nums, we're going to say if I modulus 2 equals 0, meaning it's even if there's no remainder, we say even.append nums of I. And if it's not even, it has to be odd. So we're going to say else odd.append nums of I. And there we go. So now we have our even and odd arrays fully filled out. And what we're going to do next is sum them up and subtract. So we want to say return the sum. We're going to use the sum function in Python. And all you have to do is use the sum, get the 2 parentheses, and wrap the array that you want to sum up. So even. You're going to subtract the sum of odd. And this should be the answer. Let's test it out. And there we go. We passed the question with flying colors, and I hope you learned something new, or if you already know how to do this, you got a little quick refresher. Peace.